Prime Minister Maliki was quoted in a German magazine this weekend saying he thinks that Senator Obama's plan to pull all U.S. combat troops out within 2 years by 2010 is, and let's put it up on the screen, the right time frame for a withdrawal. His spokesman has now backed away from that a bit, so that any pullout is based on continuing progress on the ground. What do you think are the consequences if we set a timeline for pulling all troops out within 2 years?
Well, my current mission under the current Commander-in-Chief is to give him advice and recommendations based on our progress there, and that's exclusively based on conditions on the ground, and that's the mission that I've got. Should that mission change when we get a new president, and should those conditions be conditions that get generated or required in order to advise a future president, I would do so accordingly. Based on my time in and out of Iraq in recent months, I think the conditions-based assessments are the way to go, and they're very solid. We're making progress, and we can move forward accordingly based on those conditions.
But I'm asking you, in the absence, forget about Obama, forget about the politics, if I were to say to you, let's set a timeline of getting all of our combat troops out within 2 years, what do you think would be the consequences of setting that kind of a timeline?
I think the consequences could be very dangerous in that regard. I'm convinced at this point in time that making reductions based on conditions on the ground are very important. We've been able to do that. We've reduced 5 brigades in the last several months, and again, if conditions continue to improve, I would look to be able to make recommendations to President Bush in the fall to continue those reductions.
Why dangerous to set a timetable now for what's going to happen over the next 2 years?
When I have discussions with commanders on the ground, basically, and I did a couple weeks ago, they are very, very adamant about continuing progress, about making decisions based on what's actually happening in the battle space, and I just think that's prudent. That's served us very well certainly since the surge, which has been very successful, and I think will continue to serve us well based on the overall conditions that I see in Iraq right now.
And why? What would happen if you don't do it as condition-based? What if you sit there and say, right now, timetable, 2 years, all combat troops out? What's the downside?
It's hard to say exactly what would happen. I'd worry about any kind of rapid movement out and creating instability where we have stability. We're engaged very much right now with the Iraqi people. The Iraqi leadership is starting to generate the kind of political progress that we need to make. The economy is starting to move in the right direction. So all those things are moving in the right direction. And from the standpoint of moving forward, I think it's a pretty good path right now.